we've got Regis Prograis, Devin Haney coming up on Saturday the 9th of December. I guess, yeah, we'll be doing a stream probably, hopefully that weekend. So we can discuss this one now. Alex, go ahead. Give us some thoughts on the main event. You can touch on some of the undercard as well if you want.
Devin Haney, man. What can you say about him? Young man, 24, turning 25, if he hasn't already. Undefeated. Pushed so hard to get to where he's at. Started off in Mexico, went the WBC route. Lomachenko got franchised. People called him an email champion. They said he was boring. Gets his title, takes the short end of the stick with signing with two new promoters. Taking a piece of his pie, going to Australia twice against a guy that just beat Teofimo Lopez, gets both those W's, and then takes on Lomachenko. I think fight of the year, Lomachenko versus Devin, or Devin Haney versus Lomachenko. No disrespect, Devin. Controversial fight. Maybe one day we'll put that on the list. We want to make sure we get a little time, so we don't get any video issues. But nonetheless. Now, defending his undisputed champion. Now we're going up to 140, face Regis Prograis. A lot of people felt that he could have got the decision against Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor goes in undisputes. He's been holding steady, gets his title shot, knocks out Jose Cepeda. And he does. He's dominant. Now didn't look good in his last fight against Zorrilla. I had Zorrilla winning, and it was a disgusting, ugly fight. It is what it is. But now it's the big time. He's going to Devin. He was just in his hometown. Now he's going to Devin's hometown. Stacks again. Everything stacked against him. Devin Haney seems to be at the top of his game, and it is expected he's going to be better than ever at this new weight class. So Regis, once again, he's done it before. Got the short end of the stick. I expect it to be once again. I got Devin Haney just too good a feet, too fast, too sharp. Unanimous decision by Devin Haney.
Okay, sweet. Just before we come on to yours, Josh, excuse me. Sorry about that. I had two things to mention here. You just said that you thought that Prograis lost this fight, Alex, and I can see some mad wide scores there. Were they robberies?
It was a fight, so. That 1-8. Yeah, I mean the wide scores. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah.
Right. I mean, if you give it to Regis, I guess,
but not by that wide.
Hell no.
And then the other thing I was going to say is, looking back at Haney's resume, pretty impressive, isn't it? Going back to 2019, to kind of, I guess, prospective up and comers undefeated, and then you got seasoned veteran Gamboa takes care of business there, and another one in Linares, decent enough. And then Diaz, Cambosis twice, Lomachenko, and now Regis Prograis. That's some going. Fair play to him, and still only 25 years old.
Yep.
Very impressive. Josh, give us your thoughts on this fight and prediction as well.
Yeah, in Regis' fight with Zorrilla, I had Regis by a point. But it certainly could have gone the other way. And you know what? I think Zorrilla, he showed that he's a tough guy to deal with when he's on his game and fights the way he actually fought Devin Haney. Not easy to land on him. He's long as well. And I think he has a little bit more power to him than what may meet the eye. So that was a tough one there for Regis for sure. I think this is a good matchup here. Regis hasn't let me down in terms of those big marquee fights when he's been in them. I think it's going to be one that could end up being somewhat close. A part of me wants to lean towards Regis, but conventional wisdom seems to ride with Devin Haney. I mean, he just brings so much to the table, and the size, I think, is not going to, even though Haney is moving up, it's not going to be on Regis' side, because Haney, he's a big dude there, and man, I'd imagine he was really doing a lot to get down to 135 over these last couple of fights. So I don't think the weight's going to be an issue for him, and he's going to feel probably more comfortable at 140 than he did at 135 at this particular stage, because he's still a young guy, and he'll probably end up at some point at 147, maybe even beyond. Up to 154. We'll just kind of have to see how things play out, but he's still you could say, maybe just kind of filling out a bit more as he goes on. But I think this is going to be an interesting contest. I think the fight with Zorrilla, that isn't really defining as far as Regis Prograis, because that's just a different style to deal with. But Haney, he's going to be one of those who's certainly going to come box first. And Haney, hey, he's going to have to take some risks to get inside to be able to land on Haney, because I think he has to get Haney's respect. And anyone who's had some success on Haney, they had to get his respect by actually landing. So, and I think the Regis is capable of doing so. But yeah, from a conventional wisdom standpoint, yeah, you probably had to lean in the direction of Devin Haney over the long run of the fight. I think it goes the distance, probably pretty close. But Haney, it just seems to be his time right now. And Regis will be game, but I can see Haney moving on. And then, hey, we'll see what's next as far as the big fight at 140. Maybe him and Teofimo Lopez, a fight that was talked about at 135 pounds as well.
Yeah, interesting. There's quite a lot of decent fights to be made around that, lightweight, super lightweight divisions. I'll be in agreement with that. I think Haney's probably going to win on points. I think it'll be fairly wide, though. I think he'll just be too good for Regis Prograis. The other thing I was going to say is, you mentioned, Alex, to keep in mind Haney and Lomachenko for a potential rewatch. Also, Regis Prograis versus Josh Taylor. I know you touched on that. That was a very close fight. One we could rewatch as well. Growing list of Josh Taylor fights that are close and controversial. On this card, then there's Liam Paro and Montana Love. Does that intrigue anyone to talk about?
Yeah.
Nope. Well, at least he gets some eye candy with Evan Blinken, if nothing else.
Andy Cruz, he's in there going to get someone 21-1. It's his second fight.
Yeah, unfortunately though, that guy's injured.
Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I found a new opponent. Yeah.
Got you.
Gotcha.
That's pretty ambitious, though. Decent records for a second fight.
Yeah, Tanahara was a top U.S. amateur. Was with Golden Boy. Was undefeated, took off like 2 years, and then got beat the fuck up by William Cepeda.
Oh, yeah.
Got you. Okay, well, I guess they're not going to get anyone as a replacement that's quite as dangerous as that, I guess.
There's a name to watch there. It's Beatrice Ferreira. She's supposed to be a beast. So a lot of hype behind her in small boxing circles.
Okay, Brazilian.
It's the alias. Not necessarily the punching power, but you never know. You never know. She fought in Sheffield.
We know the Brazilian females do very well in MMA. We'll see how she's able to run things here in the sport of boxing.
Right, interesting. Okay.